He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
They're just letting them out of the boxes.
And there's the first two out.
They don't muck around getting out of the box, do they?
Kia ora, nau mai haramai ki te ao hurihanga. Hello and welcome to Our Changing World. Ko Claire Kincannon tēnei. Now, maybe you're a little bit confused with Our Changing World arriving in your feed so early in the week, but due to some radio scheduling changes, Our Changing World has now become a Tuesday show. So from now on, you can expect it to show up in your podcast feed first thing, ready and waiting for you on a Tuesday morning. This year is the 20th anniversary of Our Changing World. And in all that time, it's been coming out on a Thursday. So this is kind of a big change. And to mark this, we've delved into the extensive OCW vault, filled with hundreds of episodes from across the years, to bring you this delightful piece from 2010 about the Chatham Island tui. Let me give you some context. Tui, of course, are the beautiful white bow tie sporting songbirds that we're familiar with in forests on the mainland. Chatham Island tui are a subspecies, slightly larger, with longer throat tufts and quite different song. On the main Chatham Island, Rekohu, tui were widespread in the early 1900s, but had started to decline by the 1930s. And by the early 1990s, they were all but gone. However, Chatham Island tui had survived on the nearby Pitt Island and Rangatira, also known as Southeast Island. So in 2009, the community conservation group the Chatham Island Taiko Trust decided to try to return them. That year, 14 juvenile tui were moved from Rangatira to Awatotara Valley on main Chatham Island. They all survived their first winter, and some began to breed at the release site. With this successful test run, the team decided to move even more birds in February 2010. Alison Ballance joins Mike Bell and the tui team on Rangatira or Southeast Island for the first part of their mission. Catch 40 tui.
Day 1.
Be real careful because the rocks are really, really slippery. And under one of our nets, it looks like it's solid ground, but it's not. It's about knee-deep boggy mud, which is quite stinky.
How many mist nets have you got set up down the stream?
We've got 3 set up down the stream, mostly where there's little pools of water, like you got here, so the birds are coming into those pools to drink as the stream dries up over the summer. Oh, I've got a parakeet. I'll just get rid of that. We set them all up yesterday, like in the.
It's like a really fine
trees.
black hair net.
Yeah, and once you set it up, and especially on a day like today where it's slightly overcast like this and under the canopy, if you stand back 3 or 4 metres, you just won't see it. You won't see it at all on a day like today.
Overnight you fill it up
and
really tightly.
Yeah, overnight we just fill it up really tightly. You spin it, and that just means that, you know, any seabird hitting it's not going to get tangled up, things like that. And it just makes it much quicker today to set it up. You saw how quick that we took to the other one. We just unfurl it in the middle, space it out, and yeah, you're ready to start catching. And as you saw there, we caught a parakeet
straight away.
20 seconds after we'd set it up. Would have been nice if it was a tui. Yeah.
And John's got something as well. What do you got up there, John? Another warbler. So you try to take them out from the side they flew in?
Oh, absolutely. That's the most important thing. These are pretty neat. They usually sing as you let them go.
You're right, it did sing as you let it go. Tell me why you're out here on Southeast catching tui.
We're looking at transferring tui back onto the main island where they became extinct. It's about 30 years ago. And there's been an odd sighting of individual birds coming across, but never enough to start a population going again. So yeah, the aim is to try and catch 40 birds if we can, 40 juveniles to transfer over to the Awatotara, which is in the south of the main Chatham.
Why juveniles?
Adults have already got territories here. Juveniles disperse every year and look for vacant territories. So if we've got adults, they're more likely to try and come back to southeast.
You did a trial transfer last year then?
Yeah, we did a trial of 14 birds last year because nobody actually, even in New Zealand, hadn't moved tui at that stage. It went really, really well. We caught 14 birds in 2 days. The birds just took it in their stride. Pretty amazing birds, actually, quite resilient and quite robust. All survived the release and all stayed put in the Awatocha. And then, they started breeding.
What do the Chatham Islanders think of the translocation?
Yeah, love it. I've never seen Chatham Islanders so keen about a conservation project in the Chathams, and I think, for me, that's probably one of the most rewarding things of this whole project. It's just been the response of the Islanders. I've been coming to the Chathams for quite a while, and I've never seen them get so keen and get so passionate about it. We had over 100 people come down and visit the birds in the aviary before we let them go.
It's a pretty good proportion of a 600-strong population.
It's amazing, Yeah.
There's a tui up above.
Yeah, that's a young one too. Oh, that's just the ones we want. Yeah. So you can see they're quite inquisitive, They come in and suss you out. Yeah.
Just going higher and higher above your mist nest.
Two coming for us, It's like...
Who else have you got on your team with you this year?
Dave Boyle, who's worked on a lot of projects with me and on other places.
So he's got a mist net down by the hut today?
Yeah, there's another freeze set up down there where Dave's working. Hopefully doing better than us.
And who else have you got up here?
And then, we've got a couple of local Chatham Islanders who've come out to help us, which is fantastic. I think it's probably the first time ever that Chatham Islanders have actually been physically involved in catching birds and things for a transfer on the Chathams.
Well, given it's lunchtime and I'm thinking about lunch, it makes me wonder, what do the tuis eat out here?
A lot of insects, fruits off trees, nectar at the moment. The Nio's still flowering, so I've seen them feeding on that quite a bit. Flax is their main one that triggers breeding here. Some years no flax will flower, so most of the tui won't breed. The odd one might try to, but if it's a really good flax flowering year, they'll have 2 or 3 broods of chicks.
What do these birds do in winter?
All the tui here will leave southeast by April, May, and they'll go across to Pitt Island and spend the winter there, and then just come back here next spring for breeding. So if you came here in May or June, July, August, there'd be no tui on this island at all.
And it's just not enough food to support them through the winter?
Yeah, the forest here is actually not that diverse.
But they come back here to breed because of the predators on Pitt.
That's the great thing about this island, it's predator free, and that's why there's so many tui here, and there's so many bugs to feed their chicks and things like that.
You could always work on the principle that if you delivered lunch down to John and Josh, then something will happen at this net in your absence.
That's what I'm planning on. Yeah, Dave's supposed to be calling me shortly, and I'm sure he'll have good news and tell me he's got 10 or something.
So the most important trait for a tui catcher is eternal optimism.
And patience. Yeah. It's got 2.
Ah, so Dave down at the hut's caught 2. Fantastic.
He's got 2 juveniles and 2 adults actually as well, so awesome. So it's 2 in the aviary.
Fantastic. Day 2. So I've stayed down at the hut, and where Dave is on patrol. Whoops, and we're just popping out to his net, and
look at that!
Oh, he's got one.
Oh, those claws! Just waiting to grab me again.
So work out which side it flew in
So
from.
yeah, you can see it's gone in from this side. Well, maybe a docile one. It's probably a male one. Oh, no. So he's just making that noise, not because he's hurt or anything.
Just the indignity of it all.
Yeah. So this is another juvenile. See, it's got like a fairly dull brown eye. The adults have got a much redder eye. And also the adults have got these lovely little white wispy feathers on the back of the neck, which the juveniles don't have. So they're quite easy to tell.
So you've got them in a nice tight grip,
Yep,
with those feet safely tucked
Yep.
in.
So we'll just bob him in a bag, put the net back up.
Dave's only just put that bird in the aviary, and John's turned up with 2 more tui from up the hill.
I was behind Joss and Mike, and they were going up there, and then I just heard Mike say, "Don't worry about it scratching you," or, you know. And I just whoopee! I let out a big yell, knowing that there must have been something in the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started taking them down.
We're taking 2 nets down, and we're just coming back to take the 3rd one down. And yeah, there's 2 juveniles are in it.
Well, that's a good reward for a long day.
Oh, I reckon. G'day everyone. Wow. Hi.
Graham suggested we just hold them up to the sugar water so they get a bit of a taste of it on the tongue.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, been doing that with the last ones. Sorry.
Oh, that vicious claws.
Oh, they're really vicious. It's just like having, a load of needles just stuck in your hands.
So your one's gone.
My one's gone. He's gone to join the others on the perches up there.
Oh, tempting fate there, John.
Oh, well, it won't hang on. When it's free, it'll fly off.
Won't hurt me on. Gotta get a bit busy here, Josh.
Busy now, mate.
Yep.
Come on, little one. All right.
What was the numbers of those 2, mate?
708 and 707.
Oh, that's us.
Blue over red and green over red, the first one. Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent, right?
Day 5. Okay, so we've just come down for a last net check of the day. How's it going?
We've had our best day yet, so we're pretty wrapped, and especially after a really poor day yesterday where we only got 1, so everyone's spirits were a little bit... We try to say we weren't panicking, but I probably was. Yeah, and then today we've managed to catch 9, which is the best ever actually. Even last year we never achieved that, so that's a pretty good way to finish today.
So what your grand total at the moment is?
Yeah, we've got 23 now in the aviary. Oh, doing really well in there too actually. They're really getting into the sugar water and eating the bananas we've been putting out for them, scoffing them actually.
Oh, yeah, they're really feeding well, aren't they?
Yeah. So they're looking pretty good in there actually.
So what was the secret to your success today?
This new net. We just found, a really good site, possibly one of the few sort of ripe nio bushes on the island, and it just looks like there's tuies from all over just coming down here to feed, and it's a nice low bush, so catching them as they're coming in. So it's gone really well.
Does it have any drawbacks, this new site?
It is a little bit swampy.
a little bit above your knees if you're not careful.
It wasn't quite that bad when I first found the site, and it's just getting deeper and deeper.
But for the sake of catching more birds, you're prepared to get wetter and wetter.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
At the end of their multi-day mission, the team have all the birds secure in the aviary on Rangatira Island. Next, the process of moving them to their new home.
Chatham Island tui translocation, step 1. Catch 40 tui that are being held in an aviary on Rangatira Island.
Number 1.
96.
96.
Number 08. And he weighs 102.
102.
Got a box for you, John?
So what's the process, John?
Mike and Dave are catching them, identifying the bands, they're calling it the numbers. So Josh can identify them on the paper there, weighing them, and we're just finding whether there's a loss or a gain in weight since they've been in there. Then they're putting them into the box, and the boxes are coming out, and then they go on the way down to the landing, ready for the transportation across to Chatham Islands.
22, Josh. 22.
It's a noisy one.
Oh, that's a monster. 152. So it's just a case now of catching all these up in a hand net and boxing them up.
There's a pained expression on Dave's face.
09.
As soon as you put them in the box, they quieten
They're
down.
real quiet, aren't they? You see, they're not rustling around at all and things like that.
So it's nice and dark in there for them.
Yeah. And we've put in quite a lot of vegetation with them to make it quite tight in there, so they sort of can't rattle around too much, especially on the boat. And that's a motion that they just would have never dealt with.
So how long before the fishing boat's due?
The fishing boat's supposed to be here at 11. It's about 2 hours through to Owenga, and then probably 45 minutes to an hour out to the Awatocha driving.
So last bird.
Oh, she looks so empty in there now.
Step 2. Release the tui into a holding aviary in their new home.
We're in the Awatocha Covenant. It's 70 hectares. It's been fenced for approximately 15, 16 years. so it's regenerated fairly quickly. And we've got most species back in here now, doing really well, so keeping the rat numbers, predator numbers low, mainly rats. Possum numbers are very low, so the forest is looking very healthy, very lush.
This is the aviary on the Awatotra.
They're just letting them out of the boxes.
And there's the first two out.
They don't muck around getting out of the box, do they?
No, they don't. They're right out, and then, yeah, as soon as we'll move off, they'll be down to feed and things on the feeders.
Come on.
Excellent.
It's a nice big aviary.
That's excellent. A nice bit of height for them. They really seem to like that, and they spend a lot of time up in the top of that ribbonwood tree, and then doing what they do now, like flying around, and then they'll come down and feed for a little bit.
So you're still
Go
feeding them
back up the
sugar water,
tree.
bananas?
Sugar water, bananas, and they've been onto some grapes as well.
Oh, how do they find the grapes?
Oh, they love them. They love them. Yeah.
So how are you feeling about things, Liz?
Far more relaxed this year, believe you me. It's been great, actually. Like having the first baby, I suppose. Second time round, you know what to do.
They don't scrap at all with each other in the aviary?
No, they don't at all. Being young ones, none of them are territorial yet. Last year we had one that tried to get a bit stroppy, but within half a day the others had sort of beat him down. But this year, no, they've been all good. You can see one there. It's going down, starting to make his way down to the feeder. Oh, chickened out.
So have you had some of the wild birds coming in?
We've had the first two breeders come in. This is their territory. One's called Blump because it's got no tail, and the other one's blue-white. But they've got a fledgling, and they were feeding here this morning.
So what are your release plans?
Thursday. We plan to release them Thursday
So today's
afternoon.
Sunday?
Yep. Give them a few days and then set them free. See if they do what they did last time.
What did they do last time?
We opened the aviary and they actually didn't fly out, so we had to take all the netting off to get them to go, and then they flew up so high, and I was thinking, oh no, they're looking for southeast to go home. And only Mike and I sort of thought like that, but it was just obviously something they do. Then they settled down in the gully here in the bottom of Awatotra, so they were good.
So you're hoping it'll be exactly the same again this year?
Yeah, I hope so. And last year we were just careful about how many people were going to be out here too, but we now know that that's fine, so we hope to have the school this time.
Step 3. Time to let the tui fly free.
Oh, they're talking. I'm Ariel. I'm Jenny. We're best friends and we collect DNA samples from the birds. We like collecting feathers.
Hello, my name's Kirkpatrick.
And I understand that you helped in the release of the tuis last year.
Yes. What I did was I was on the radio and some of the birds flew out and then they just came back in. When we pulled the whole net back, all the birds just flew away.
So what's it like seeing 40 tui in the aviary this year?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's good to see that at least people are trying to get the numbers of birds back.
And have you seen any of the birds that were released last year? Have you been seeing them round about?
Yes, actually they've flown down back to my house a couple of times.
I've seen one and that's been getting the nectar from in our flax flowers. I like them because they're small creatures but they're still very special in the world and stuff. So
they will need good weather.
And they'll need more possum trapping, heaps more possum trapping, and rat trapping. That's the things that made them extinct on the Chatham Island.
Yeah, this whole place used to be run by birds, no mammals at all, until a couple 100 years ago.
My name is Valmete, Nepris, born and bred on the Chatham Islands. Tuis were like beautiful friends to us. Beautiful birds, beautiful music, just gave a beautiful feeling. I just thought they would be there forever until I read about it and I felt quite sad.
I'm Erin Tuanui. To be a part of this and help bring them out and let them go and stuff is absolutely awesome.
So I understand you were their chauffeur the other day.
Yes, 30 birds and myself in my truck, sing a little bit of Celine Dion for them to keep them calm. No. But no, it was good. Yeah, it is. It's a privilege to be part of it. And hopefully they'll, for years to come, they'll be able to be on the Chathams.
Hi there, John. How are you?
Good.
So how are you feeling?
Oh, good, yeah.
Like a proud parent?
Yeah, well, the kids are leaving home today.
People are chucking grapes up onto the top of the A-frame and the toys go off and get it, because when you split them in half, they normally go through.
Ah, so they're grabbing them as they fall through?
Yeah. See?
And some of them look like they're hanging upside down while they're doing it.
Yeah, like bats.
They're nice birds. Like really good flies. I think they're awesome songbirds.
Okay, can I have quiet for a minute, please? I'm just speaking on behalf of the Taiko Trust and this community project of the transfer of Chatham Island tui back to the Awa Totara. It's our second cohort of birds, and with this number we should be able to establish a viable population on the Chathams.
Ka inoi atu kia koutou, kia taua koutou manaakitanga, ki rungi ēnei manu, e ki ai e tui. Manaaki tia rātou, I roto a rātou rerenga, I tēnei rā.
A couple of years with hammers, we need to strip these nails off. We're going to end up needing to put the ladders up. Then there's some strings along the side, on the bottom of each side, which we'll need to cut and unwind. And then the idea is we just need to peel this net right up off the side and pull it back. We'll probably pull it back to about halfway, and then we'll just sit here and hopefully watch them all fly out.
So how are you feeling, Mike?
Oh, pretty excited really. Looking forward to seeing them go out.
She's all go from here on out. Hopefully this is just the start of other transfers. It's just about returning the native birds back to the Chathams, and hopefully they'll spread around the island and set up home and all around the island. So
Those birds sound like they know there's freedom coming.
they're getting excited now, aren't they? I think they're ready to go.
Well, the sun's come out for you.
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing, isn't it? Perfect day.
We're letting the toys go.
Way!
The first two have gone. We've got two paria sitting in the tree up there. Blimp and blue whitera further up here, looking on.
4!
Hey, another one.
Yes.
He's in the top room, Wood.
6!
So what do you think the kids will get out of today?
A lot of excitement and awareness. The biggest thing is awareness, and actually saying, that's a tui mum or that's a tui dad, and going out and saying, I'm going to go and do something, I'm going to protect, I'm going to get rid of possums or set a trap. And that's what it's about. So I can have them in my garden, which they will. Here they go, look! Woohoo!
Another one over there.
There it is.
He's big. One over there. That was biggie.
What do you think they're doing?
There. Flying around. Finding food. Whoa. 1, 2. It's too hard.
There should be 40.
That's a big beauty. That's a big beauty.
So they came out one by one, and then when they lifted the net all over, they all flew out.
And suddenly some were trying to get back into the net. Some were
Do you
trying
think
to
some didn't want to leave?
Yeah. And probably they'll stay around here because there's sugar water.
I think they'll feel safe closer to the aviary, so they know where to go if they find predators. They'll feel safe at a safe spot, like a safe house.
And do you think gradually they'll spread out from here?
Yes, I can give them a couple months and they'll fly all over the island.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, mission accomplished. No, very good.
I'm about to go and check my possum traps up in here, so hopefully we don't have anything because that means there's nothing around.
So you've got 40 extra reasons now to be out there trapping possums.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully the possum numbers are right down by the time they start breeding, so all the eggs make it into chicks and all the chicks make it into adults, and yeah.
Well, the birds have all gone, Mike, and so's everyone else. But you're still keeping an eye on things.
No, there's still one in there actually, which is great. I mean, this is perfect actually, having some of the birds stay around like that and them not go very far. With any luck they'll be back into the sugar water a lot quicker than the last ones that sort of disappeared for a week before they came back to start feeding on the sugar water. So yeah, it's gone really well.
So what are you going to be doing over the next few days?
I'll be just parked in the scrub here, just watching these feeders and see if I can see any of the birds coming back and see if any of them are coming back into the sugar water and which ones they are. Try and see as many of the 40 as I can. Yep. Got no doubt that they're going to do it right given what happened last year, you know, but it's nice to know. Yeah.
A 2025 update from the Chatham Island Taiko Trust said that the translocation was a success. Tui are today regularly seen throughout the island and are breeding in the southern area. That was a story reported and produced by Alison Ballance, and it first broadcast in April 2010. The Tui catching team you heard from were Mike Bell, David Boyle, Joss Thomas and John Day. On the release day, nearly a sixth of the Chatham Island population turned out. Alison spoke to students from Te One School, as well as Liz and Bruce Tuanui from the Chatham Island Taiko Trust. I edited this rerun, production help was from Ellen Rikers, and sound engineering was by William Saunders. Tēnā koe I whakarongo mai. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Claire Kincannon. Have a great week. Kia pai, the wiki.